Overrated. I think deep shit all the time. Look where it's gotten me.
You just swore. You said a curse word.
I'm off the clock. I can say whatever.
How is filming Euphoria? I go back tomorrow.
What is your reaction when you see Sydney Sweeney is trending
On social media. I'm like, oh, what for now? Hollywood today does not just create stars, it creates illusions of talent, illusions of authenticity, illusions that feel so real we stop questioning them. And in an era driven by streaming, social media, and constant visibility, the line between what is earned and what is engineered has never been more blurred. For Sydney Sweeney, that illusion is almost perfect. She is praised as one of the most talented actresses of her generation, celebrated, admired, constantly talked about, but at the same time, she is filmed, styled, and presented in a way that makes it almost impossible to separate her acting from her image. One thing about this girl is that her appearance actually stands out more than her acting. I just feel that people don't see her acting skills, but they do see how she usually looks, her big bust, how beautiful she is, how alluring she is. And that's where the contradiction begins, because behind the rising fame is a question no one wants to fully answer. Are we watching her for her talent, or because we were never meant to look away from the image as she's actually being presented? This is the story of Sydney Sweeney, an actress caught between skill and spectacle, and the uncomfortable truth about what Hollywood really rewards.
If you won, but I do not care. I have never, ever been Maddie gets. You two shouldn't be together. You're toxic.
How would you know?
Because she's my best friend and I'm in a relationship with you. She's not good for you. You're not good for her, and I will do everything I can to prevent it.
Hollywood is not just about glamour, it's a world of mystery and on tragic icons. We unravel it all. Born in 1997, Sydney Sweeney did not come from Hollywood royalty. She wasn't born with a golden silver spoon in her mouth. She worked hard for her roles. She auditioned, and like any other person, she pushed her way into an industry that really makes space for outsiders. Her biggest breakthrough came with Euphoria, a show that did not just rely on storytelling, but on intensity, shock, exposure, and Sydney played this girl called Cassie, this girl who was just in her little world, this bubble type of girl. She was a girl who was going through a lot emotionally, but she always tried her best. And one thing about Cassie that stood out was the fact that she was very alluring, she was very daring, she was just very exotic, she was just so sexy. And I feel like that's what kind of drew a lot of people towards Cassie, because she was just remarkably very gorgeous, very sexy, but whatever she said just felt dumb at the same time. And her performance, trust me, was very emotional. It was raw at times, devastating. She could act, that was very clear, but the way she looked stood out the most, rather than her acting skills. Her character was also one of the most visually exposed character on that TV series. She was just so bare, her breasts were always out, she was just basically so sexual and very exotic. She was just so dangerously alluring, and I feel that it kind of outshadowed her acting skills. It kind of overshadowed who she really is as an actor. And from that moment on, two things began to grow together. Her reputation as an actress and her image as something else entirely. There were two separate things that were created from that moment. The image and also the acting. And one thing about Hollywood, in life and in TV show, people tend to follow one. The dark reality behind the image. Hollywood has always understood one thing: attention is currency, and nothing holds attention longer than a woman who is both talented and desirable. For so many years, Hollywood has always categorized women and given them different types of brand images for them to sell. They are basically like golden goose. And when it comes to Sydney, she became a balance of someone who is both talented and desirable. But her talent, to me, in regards to her acting, I wouldn't put her as one of the top tier actresses of this generation. I feel like she is decent when it comes to her acting skills, but I wouldn't put in the same caliber like Denzel Washington, Michael B. Jordan, Jenna Ortega, or her co-star in Euphoria, Zendaya Coleman. I feel like she's just very remarkable, but is she top tier? No, I don't think so. Is she good at what she does? Yes, maybe. And I feel like the balance that Hollywood had to put her in is a very tricky balance because a lot of people sometimes call her the modern Marilyn Monroe. A lot of people just know her for her body. A lot of people, they say that it's only her body that actually sells, but when it comes to talent, there is actually nothing there. I feel like she works hard for her roles. She does do a lot of movie roles, and she's pretty much been on our TV than other stars from Euphoria. She is just amazing at how she looks, and I feel like when people watch series, they won't focus on her acting, they'd rather focus on how dazzling, sexy that she really is. There is always a blurred line between illusion or talent. Here's where it becomes uncomfortable. Sydney Sweeney, I would like to think that she is very talented. No, not very talented. She is talented, but talent alone for her doesn't explain her level of visibility. I feel like her level of visibility comes more for how she looks. Imagine if she didn't look like how she looks. Would she still be as famous? Or would she be famous for other things? Maybe she would have even fought harder to actually be a good actress. There are actresses with equal or greater range who are not discussed the same way or seen the same way, not marketed the same way. But for her specifically, it's more about how she looks, how she is, and what she says in a very seductive voice. So the question at the end of the day becomes, is her talent being recognized? Because if people knew you for basically being a sexy person, do they see more of you or what you're actually offering apart from your image? Please let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you guys actually think that her talent is being recognized, or is it just being enhanced by something else, something bigger, something whereby these big companies just get their money and they go? Because when someone is constantly presented in a way that captures attention first, their talent doesn't stand alone. It exists inside an experience that's already been shaped. Now there is the audience's role, and this is where the responsibility shifts. Because Hollywood can create the image, and the image can be something that's just very dazzling and beautiful, the audience gives it power, and that power is amplified by the image that's being sold out. Because the thing is that how human beings work, which is the audience, is that they are drawn to fantasies and they're drawn to things that they can look towards to and kind of find a form of escapism, and that comes in form of icons, idols, and influencers. Now, this is the same thing that happens to a lot of people in Hollywood, and on top of that, the audience just give it a lot of power, because here is Hollywood just creating the image, and now this audience start fighting amongst each other. They start creating controversies, they start creating conversations, they start creating hateful words, others give good words, and it's just a lot of backlash that happens. People defend their fantasies. It's more of like a town of psychosis, and everyone is just being fed some type of potions. That's what I would like to actually think. For example, look at the conversation around Sydney Sweeney. Every time people see her, there's a lot of people who are drooling over her, always talking about her body. I remember actually going to Instagram and searching videos about acting, and everything in the comment section was just terrible. A lot of people were like, oh no, she exposed herself a lot in Euphoria. Mind you, it was the directors who directed her to do that. She didn't just wake up and then decide to go and bare herself. And on top of that, people are saying that she only went too far because of the fact that she's very sexy, and that's just not true. I mean, maybe yes, but I'm not saying that it is actually true. And they never talk about her performances. They always talk about her appearance, her body, her appeal. And once that becomes the dominant narrative in someone's career, it starts to overshadow anything else. Even if one day she comes and delivers a very strong performance, people are not going to care. They're not always going to want to remember what she actually did. All they want to see is just her with her big bust out. So the question is not just about what Hollywood is doing, it's what we are responding to, basically based on what Hollywood is actually feeding us. So it's more of like a 50-50 situation. I just don't blame the audiences. I also blame the money machine companies, because they want money and they know how to feed people's fantasies. In Hollywood, there is a blurred line between talent and marketing. Hollywood does not just find talent, it amplifies what sells, and sometimes what sells isn't skill, it's attention. Hollywood does not care about how these people actually feel. They invested money in you and they want you to bring the money back. They expect big checks from you, and if you don't deliver, they basically kick you out of the industry. They don't want to work with someone who's just not gonna bring in money, they're just wasting their money. And for them, it can find a loop into using you through your talent or using you through your looks. And that's what's happening to Sydney Sweeney. She exists in that blurred space where talent is real, but is constantly surrounded by something louder, something more immediate, something easier to consume. And the danger of that is that over time, people start separating the two. They'll never put them into one group. They will never say that, oh my god, okay, let's just for one stop seeing how she actually looks, how beautiful she looks, and let's start focusing on her talent. That's never gonna happen because it's already created two different perceptions. Unless if you're a diehard fan and you actually see her as one, good for you. And her being used for her body just makes it seem like talent was just being added on top of the package instead of the beauty being added on top of the package. But that's kind of a very, very tough situation because you can understand the pressure that she goes through. She actually has to deliver in almost all her TV roles, and that's just something that's very, very scary and very, very sad. The cost of being seen is so sad. Visibility will forever come with a price because when someone is constantly watched, they are also constantly judged. Sydney Sweeney's career is growing, but so is the scrutiny. Every role is questioned, every performance is analyzed, every success is debated, not because she lacks ability, but because her image is too present to ignore. And that creates a unique kind of pressure to prove yourself. You have to imagine how many times she actually has to wake up, or every time she's in a movie role, she actually has to think that, you know what, I have to do my best. People need to not see me as just the sexy girl. She has to go through a lot to actually prove to herself that she's actually very capable of being an actress beyond her looks, and especially in a space where people have already decided what they see first. The story of Sydney Sweeney is not just about one actress, it's about how modern fame works, how easily perception can be shaped, how quickly talent can become secondary to image, and how audiences can be drawn into an experience without realizing how much of it was designed from the beginning, because the illusion does not always feel like an illusion. A fantasy always feels so beautiful, you don't even want to wake up from that dream, and it always feels like reality, and that's what makes it more powerful and more dangerous, because people use it for good and they can use it for bad. Fantasy illusions destroy a lot of people. Same theme around the world. Can be politics, it can be the government. Every time when a candidate is stepping into office, they sell this illusion, this dream that they can make the world a better place, only for you to get there and the world is really not going to be a better place. That's the same thing when it comes to illusion. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I would really appreciate it. The question I'd like to ask you guys: do you guys think that Sydney Sweeney is talented? I mean, she's not untalented, but she's not untouched by the system that made her. She exists at the intersection of ability and attention, where one is constantly competing with the other. And maybe that's the real tragedy. Not that she lacks talent, but that in modern Hollywood, talent is no longer enough to stand on its own. Talent has to be forever packaged, enhanced, and framed, and sold in a way that keeps us watching, even when we don't fully understand why. So the question is not just about her, it's about us. Are we recognizing talent? Is the world running out of talent that now we're just allowing anything? Or are we responding to something we were designed to notice first? One thing about the industry, the world, illusions, fantasies has been running for a very long time. Can be 60s Hollywood, 30s Hollywood, 80s Hollywood, 90s Hollywood, modern, future, past Hollywood. It's always been the same, and it will forever be that way. And one thing for sure that I would like to really say, thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Please let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I am so grateful for you guys watching this video. My name is Yunina, your host from Tragic Icons. From this video to the next, thank you very much.